Hello everyone, very good evening. Welcome to Oliveboard. My name is Varsha and this is your current affairs session. So in this current affairs session, we have to cover agriculture and rural development related current affairs from 12th of July till 18th of July. Okay. So the aspirants who are in the class, please let me know that my voice is clearly audible and the screen is clearly visible to everyone so that we can start our discussion very smoothly. Am I clearly audible and visible to everyone? Yeah. Is everything fine to you? And how's your preparations going on? How's everything? Yeah. So let's start our today's discussion. Let's continue about it. So aspirants, on every Friday at 6 p.m., I'm taking your current affair rated session. So if you guys are preparing for NABARD Grade A 2025 examination, it is very important to be aware about the current affair events of the last 6 to 8 months. So it's a request that you have to do the current affair from January 2025 till your exam, okay? And as there are so many events happen in the last week, so I'll make sure that I'll cover maximum of the events in today's session. And if there will be something that will not be able to complete in today's session, I'll take a separate session related to that, or I'll provide you the notes at the end of the session, okay? So that you can revise the things by yourself also, okay? So let's continue. Yeah, Raj, hello. Sumit, hello. How you are? How's your preparations going on? Is everything fine? So now we can feel that soon your notification will be released and you will have limited time to prepare for your phase one and phase two. So be serious for your preparations now. Okay. Now here we go. Before going forward, I just want to tell that this is the application of Oliveboard. Download the application, register yourself there so that you will get the notification. You will get the PDF of all the YouTube classes, okay? And this is a NABARD Grade A batch. So aspirants today, like birthday bash sale is going on, okay? Birthday bash sale is going on. So guys, if you are preparing for any competitive examination, you will get a maximum discount of 60% on all the batches which are available on the application of Oliveboard. Use the code BDAY and start your preparations with the team of Oliveboard, okay? And this is a new batch. Live classes are going on. And if you are thinking of preparing for the NABARD grade examination, be the part of this batch and start your preparations from today onwards, okay? So what happened in the last week? So firstly, let's start with the news of 12th of July. So what happened on 12th of July? There's a deliberation on strategies for strengthening indigenous breed development and genetic improvements in the livestock sector. Okay, we are working very hard to make our livestock sector, like strengthen our livestock sector, or we want to do improvements. We want to follow some protocols and strategies so that our indigenous breeds will be developed, their genetic potential will be improved, okay? So that we'll not need the exotic breeds to deal with the challenges that we are facing, okay? And to overcome the situations in the livestock sector that is coming, okay? So recently there was a workshop held, and that workshop was held at Indira Gandhi Convention Center, which is at Lucknow, Uttar Pradesh. And the title of the workshop was Workshop on Breed Development in India. Like what are the challenges we are facing in breed development and how we can develop the breeds so that the livestock population that will be raised will be of superior genetic potential, and we will be able to get the good output from our livestock sector. Okay, so this workshop was chaired by Union Minister for Fisheries, Animal Husbandry and Dairying and Panchayati Raj. And who is he? Is Shri Rajiv Ranjan Singh alias Lalan Singh. Okay. And the chief guest, who was the chief guest? So there were so many delegates or so many persons that were available during that workshop. But majorly, let's talk about Chief Minister of UP, Shri Yogi Adityanath ji was there, and Rajiv Ranjan Singh was there, and Alka Upadhyay ji was there, and another ministries were also available during that conference. Okay, what was the objective of having that workshop? to deliberate on strategies for strengthening indigenous breed development. Okay, so that the indigenous breed will be developed and genetic improvement in the livestock sector, and we will be capable of improving the genetic composition of livestock sector of the livestock we are having. Okay. Very good evening, Piyush. Very good evening. Next is, and who were the participants or who attended this workshop? So it was attended by more than 700 livestock farmers, veterinarians, senior officers from the state and the centrals and the UTs. And what was the aim of this workshop? To ideate on the strategies and way ahead to improve the indigenous livestock breeds in the country so that the indigenous livestock breeds will be improved. Okay. Now moving forward, let's talk about it. So it was inaugurated, and after like during that workshop, there was some achievements were discussed and there was some inauguration work was done. So during that workshop, Honorable Shri Yogi Adityanath, who is the Chief Minister of UP, inaugurated the Artificial Insemination Training Institute in Gorakhpur. So this is very important. Like, where is the Artificial Insemination, newly established Artificial Insemination Training Institute, AITI? Where is it? It is at Gorakhpur. Gorakhpur is in UP. Okay, so you might have this question in your examination. Okay, Avijit, that's very good evening to you. Okay. And apart from that, there was three key infrastructure projects that were inaugurated, and they were Gyandhara Industries Private Limited at Amethi, Sri Chanchala Foods India Private Limited at Bareilly, Brijvashi Keshav Milk Products at Mathura in UP. And these three key infrastructure projects were inaugurated under Animal Husbandry Infrastructure Development Fund. Okay, so we talk about Rural Infrastructure Development Fund, we talk about Agriculture Infrastructure Development Fund, and that is Animal Husbandry Infrastructure Development Fund. Okay, so you should be aware about the different funds and for which purposes we are using these funds. Okay, there are different funds and they are used for different purposes. Okay, so that thing should be clear in your mind. Okay, moving further, the framework for the establishment of Breeders Association has also been launched in the program. So there was a framework that there should be an breeder association. Okay, that was also launched. And what was the aim of this framework or this association? To strengthen breed conservation and promote organized breeders network across the country. Okay, next is, so what was the conclusion? So firstly, let's talk about the conclusion and then we will talk about the highlights, because whenever these kind of workshops held, whenever these kind of workshops or meetups or ride shops held, the chief guest or the delegates who are present during that meetings or the gatherings, they have to speak forward, they have to tell about the achievements or the targets we are taking for the future. Okay, so firstly, let's talk about the conclusion and then we'll talk about the emphases and the highlights of the famous personalities who were available during the workshop. Okay, so conclusion that whenever we talk about breed development, indigenous breed development, in the terms of their genetic potentials, there are different factors that influence it, like the climate, hygiene, proper care. They all play a very crucial role in enhancing the livestock productivity. So if you want to enhance the productivity that is obtained from the livestock sector, you need to talk about the breed improvement is one thing. Breed development is one thing, genetic improvement is another thing. And apart from that, you have to take care about the abiotic factors or the physical factors also. Now you have to take care of your cattle, your climate condition that should be suitable, hygiene should be maintained. Okay. And what was the major highlights by CM Yogi Adityanath? So he encouraged the farmers rearing indigenous breeds to adopt advanced technologies for accelerated work. Okay, so he promoted the farmers, like the farmers who are rearing indigenous breeds, they need to adopt advanced technologies for accelerated growth. Like they should follow the technologies of six sorted cement insemination and other such technologies so that their indigenous breeds will give them good output in the terms of milk production. Okay, and other products like what we are want to obtain from them. He highlighted successful women-led milk unions in Jhansi, where scientific livestock rearing is transforming rural economies. So why we are discussing, like some of the students are about to tell, huh, some of the students are about to ask, like why we are talking about these examples, or why we are talking about all these points. The main reason to discuss about all these things, एक second. The main reasons to discuss about all these important points is that because you can use these informations as examples in framing your descriptive answer. Okay, because you can use this information as an examples to frame your descriptive answer. So that's why we are discussing about all these things here. Okay. Is it clear to you? So it like what is the question? I'm just saying that there's a question. See, this fund is related, like this fund, if we are talking about the animal husbandry development fund, so that will be released by the department or the Ministry of Animal Husbandry and Dairying. Okay. And if we are talking about the fund in rural development or the rural infrastructure development fund, so that will be handled by the Ministry of Rural Development. And if you're talking about the fund of agriculture infrastructure development fund, so that will be handled by Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare. Okay, they will release a requisite fund. Na? Whenever we talk about the budgets, so during the budget, there is a fund allocation for the different ministries. And under the different ministries, they have to release a fund for the different projects. Okay, so that's how the fund will be allocated by the different ministries for the different purposes. Clear? Is it clear to you now? Now, moving forward, we have another important point to discuss, and that is, yeah, just give me a second. So, he mentioned the work of Go Seva Ayog. So, what is it? In breed improvement and training and emphasize promotions of natural farming and so this is Go Seva Ayog. Okay, the work of Go Seva Ayog that is related with breed improvement and training and emphasize promotion of natural farming and sustainability. He mentioned that these efforts will not only increase farmers' income but also enhance self. Like if the farmers will have the indigenous breeds, okay, they will raise the indigenous breeds. That means what we are doing, we are becoming Atmanirbhar in livestock sector also. We are not importing some export breeds or the semen of the breeds, exotic breed. Okay, we are using the semen of the indigenous breeds. Okay, next is Shri Rajiv Ranjanji. He will also, like after the complete workshop, he will also summarize na, his words. So how he summarized that he stressed the importance of increasing milk productivity across the country. Okay, there's a need if the milk productivity will be increased, so the per capita milk consumption will be improved. And he noted that ongoing workshop is an important step in this direction, focusing on breed improvement through. Now we know about the advanced technology like in vitro fertilization, sex sorted semen, because we had discussed about this technology in our previous current affairs session. So I can assure that this is clear in your mind. I can assume that this is clear in your mind, right? See, in today's session, we will also discuss about the 97th Foundation Day of ICAR that was on 16th of July and the key achievements of ICAR. Even though today also we'll discuss about it, and I'll take a separate session for that also, so that the ICAR related important achievements will be clear in your mind, because you will definitely have like how much agriculture production we had done, how many new varieties were introduced, and what we are doing in the agriculture sector. Okay, so that's why this particular topic is very, very important. Okay, so you need to attend the class till the last point. Yeah, very good evening, Agni. Very good evening to you. Okay. Next is about these innovations aim to enhance livestock quality and support farmers in achieving. So if the farmers will use the in vitro fertilization technology, because the cattle or the buffaloes that we are rearing, they have a limit like that much, that they have a specific gestation period. They have their own estrous cycles, which we had discussed before. And if we inseminate the sex sorted semen inside them, so that will lead to the production of the female calf only, and the female calf will raise into the female cattle, and that's how they will also promote in the milk production. So that's how the technologies, the improved and the advanced technologies, are helping us in getting the good productivity from our livestock sector. Okay. Another thing is, he also highlighted efforts of government, like we talk about the World Organization of Animal Health. Okay. And now recently we got the title, now we got a title related to the rinderpest free, or that. So we are doing a lot of improvement in this sector. We are like showing advanced improvements in this sector. Okay. And other than that, he also highlighted the efforts of government of India for controlling eradication. Now our country, now the animals are not suffering from FMT disease, foot and mouth disease, because government has taken a lot of efforts. Like we talk about the vaccination, and that is a 100% central assistance project. Okay, we talk about it in before also, that the vaccination in the cattle, they are 100%. Like for the FMT, there was 100% central assistance. Okay. He also appreciated the role of Metri. We know about the Metri. Okay, there is one that is Metri, and that is related with your animal husbandry, like doorstep facilities to the farmers or the person who are related with rearing the cattle, uh, like good quality or the superior semen will be supplied to their doorstep. Okay, bringing artificial insemination technology directly to the farmer's doorstep, and that will be at nominal and affordable charges. Okay, otherwise, if the farmers will go to any other place, so they have to charge, they have to pay like 800 rupees. Okay, and because of this facility, they just have to pay the nominal charges of 250 or the 300 rupees. Okay, directly to the farmer. Ministry also spotlighted sustainability models in the dairy sector. Apart from that, who is a state minister for animal husbandry? So Sri Dharampal Singh, he also said that Uttar Pradesh is making significant strides in livestock development through farmer-centric policies. Okay, see, if any place, for example, we are talking about the NABARD. Okay. NABARD have a very important role in policy implementation. Okay, if the NABARD is framing the policies related to the agriculture and rural development, and if they are not the farmer centric, so definitely you will not get the good results out of it, right? So UP government has started working in this manner, like whatever the policies which are basically for the agriculture and the livestock sector, they are framed in such a manner that they will be more farmer centric, considering the needs of the farmer. Okay, he highlighted that the state's commitment to breed improvement. He mentioned UP is leveraging technologies like artificial insemination, okay, in vitro fertilization and sex sorted semen. Okay. Next is during her address. So during that workshop, Srimati Alka Upadhyay ji was also present, who she is a Secretary Department of Animal Husbandry and Dairy, Government of India. She emphasized that critical role of livestock development in driving. So if you want to make our nation as a developed nation, or we want to improve, we want to become self-reliant in all the sector, we need to be self-reliant in the livestock sector also, because it is playing a very critical role, because we are getting a lot of nutrients from the livestock. Okay, she outlined a strategic vision for enhancing productivity, technological advancement, and regional focus in the livestock sector. Okay, so these were the major discussions during that particular event. Now, see, aspirant, this is very, very important news. Please note down in your notebook. I'm mentioning it 2 or 3 times that this news is very, very important. Okay. See, whenever the like now we have the in the May 2000, in the month of May, Kharif season began. Okay, so firstly we have the uh, Viksit Krishi Sankalp Abhiyan. Okay, firstly Viksit Krishi Sankalp Abhiyan, where they are growing the crop that soil might have the deficiency in some, might be deficient strict action against the issue of counterfeit and substandard fertilizer. And if they found that the fertilizer that is supplied to the farmer is of substandard, is it of bad quality, there is a need to take strict and immediate actions against them. Because yeah, the person who are dealing with the fertilizers, they will get the immediate profit, but what of the farmers that who are investing all their times and resources to get the good productivity from their agriculture field, na? So they will suffer at the end, right? So with the objective of curbing the sale of fake fertilizers, black marketing of subsidized fertilizers. Okay, there are some dealers, what they do, they purchase the subsidized fertilizers at the nominal charges, and then they are selling it at high charges to the farmers. So there is a need to take strict action, need to identify all these problems and need to take strict actions against them. Illegal activities such as forced tagging across the country. Okay, so Union Minister of Agriculture gave strict instruction to the states to launch a campaign for ensuring fertilizer. If the farmers, okay, we are providing them the basic seed as by the mean of seed subsidy, we are providing them the good quality of seed. But when they need the fertilizer, they're not getting the right quality of fertilizer at right time. So that will cause a lot of like challenges for the farmers. Now their productivity will be reduced, and that fertilizer should be at affordable prices and of standard quality, like of good quality fertilizers. Okay. Now he also highlighted that the sale of counterfeit out substandard fertilizer is prohibited. The person who are dealing in substandard fertilizer, their sale should be prohibited. And it is under which act? The Fertilizer Control Order 1985. And this order comes under Essential Commodities Act 1955. So if you will face this kind of question in your phase 1 or phase 2 examination, you should not think that this is from the out of the syllabus. This is not from the syllabus. This is in the syllabus, no? Because in the current affair we are discussing about the fertilizer related order. Okay, so please note down this thing in your notebook. And what are the directions that are issued to the states? Like directly Union Minister is issuing letter to the concerned states. So he will definitely mention some direction now, like these are the direction that all the states have to follow. And what are the direction? This is a responsibility of the states. Okay, so states have the responsibility to ensure adequate availability of fertilizers at the right places and locations where it is. Okay, the state will not consider it that the agriculture that they are growing, the farmers are working upon, that it is the major concern of the states. Okay, and therefore state must strictly monitor and take swift action against activities such as black marketing, overpricing, and diversion of subsidized fertilizer. Like where is a subsidized fertilizer going? Okay, so the state governments have to look over this. Regular monitoring of fertilizer production and sale, as well as strict control over counterfeit and substandard products through sampling and testing must be carried out. How much fertilizer is produced, how much fertilizer is sold. Okay, there should be a strict control over all these things. Otherwise, you will not be able to counterfeit. You will not be able to control over this counterfeit and substandard products. Okay, so this portion can be used to frame a good descriptive answer if you find a question related to fertilizer in your exam. Okay, forced tagging of nano fertilizer or biostimulant products along with conventional fertilizer should be stopped immediately. Okay, the conventional fertilizers or the chemical fertilizers. Okay, so these nano fertilizers or biostimulants, they are tagged with the conventional fertilizer. This kind of practices should be stopped immediately. Strict legal action, including cancellation of licenses and registration of FIRs, should be taken against the culprits. Effective prosecution must be ensured to secure conviction. States have been directed to develop feedback and information systems to involve farmers, farmer groups in the monitoring process, and to make special efforts to advocate. So there is a need. Okay, the whatever the fertilizers that is in the market, that is going to the farmers. If the farmers are not aware about it, like farmers should be aware about it, and there's a need to educate the farmers so that he will be able to identify the genuine product and the counterfeit product. For example, we talk about the adulteration of food items. Now we know, like recently we had a news of paneer adulteration. How many of you had heard about this particular news, adulteration of food products? We saw that during the time of festivals, basically the like Diwali festival, we observed that in the market, we observed the fake hoa, and there are so many sweet items like the, and during the other festival seasons also, we are observing a lot of fake products in the market. And even though in our agriculture communities, we're observing the mixing of stones, pebbles in our dals and other things. So this is the adulteration of the food products. Okay. Now, same thing they're doing in the fertilizers also. Okay, if the basic input that you are supplying to the agriculture field, that is also not of a good quality, so the product or the crop that you will obtain from your agriculture field, that will also have some negative results or the negative outputs. Okay, so there's a need to like consider this problem from the very beginning, and there's a need to take strict actions against them who are involved in doing this or related to these activities. Okay. Now moving further, the minister also asks all the states to launch. There's a need to launch a state-wide campaign in which the farmers will be educated about the products and what are the agriculture inputs they are needed. And there are specific measures that will be like given to the farmers so that they will be able to know about which one to follow and which one not to follow. Okay. Moving further. Next is 97th Foundation Day event of the Indian Council of Agriculture Research. So on 16th of July every year, what we celebrate ICAR Foundation Day. So this year is the 97th Foundation Day of ICAR. Okay. Now the Indian Council of Agriculture Research organized. Where was the event organized? Foundation Day ceremony was organized. So that was organized at C. Subramaniam Hall, NASC Complex, New Delhi. Okay, and during that event, the major achievements of the ICAR award ceremony and Viksit Krishi exhibition, all the events were like placed there. Okay, and the event was inaugurated by the Union Minister of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare and Rural Development, Shri Shivraj Singh Chauhan ji. And there were other important ministers or delegates or the senior leaders were also present during the celebration. Okay, and who were among them? Union Minister of State for Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, Shri Bhagirath Chaudhary. Dr. Ramesh Chand, who is a member of Niti Aayog, also graced the occasion along with senior officials from ICAR. Mangi Lal Judd, Dr. Mangi Lal Judd, who is he? He's Secretary DARE and he's also Director General of ICAR. Okay, we talked about it like recently he is appointed as a Director General of ICAR and Secretary of DARE. Shri Sanjay Garg, Additional Secretary DARE, Secretary ICAR, and Shri Puneet Agarwal, Additional Secretary DARE, and Financial Advisor ICAR. Okay, now. So why we celebrate this day and what were the key achievements? We have to discuss about all these things in detail because you will definitely have questions from this portion in your examination. Okay. So ICAR Foundation Day marks the establishment of India's premier institutions for agriculture, research and education. ICAR stands for Indian Council for Agriculture Research. And that's a premier institute related to agriculture, research and education. Okay, acknowledging its transformative role in strengthening Indian agriculture and ensuring food and nutritional security. Okay, and over the decade, ICR has spearheaded innovation across crop improvement in the last 10 years, or in the last few years. We had observed that we had done a lot of work related to crop improvement, livestock and fisheries development, agri-biotechnology, natural resource management, and digital agriculture. Okay, and the occasion also featured the presentation of ICR Rashtriya Krishi Vigyan Purushkar and the release of new products, technologies, publications, MOUs, and Viksit Krishi exhibition. Okay, the recently Viksit Krishi Sankalp Abhiyan held. So there was an exhibition of Viksit Krishi Sankalp Abhiyan also. Okay. Now we have to mention. So these data you have to mention in your notebook and you have to learn also. This is very important data. So firstly, let's talk about the key achievements in 2024-25. Okay, what we had done, like ICR achievements. Okay, let's discuss about the achievements of ICR. So we had achieved ever highest food grain production of how much? 353.95 million tons. Okay, and country also remain the world largest producer of. So we are the largest producer of rice, and how much? Estimated 149.1 million tons, and continued as the largest exporter. How much we are contributing in the global rice trade? 40%. Okay, so this data is important, and we are the first in milk production. Okay, reaching 239.30 million tons, and the second largest producer of wheat. So we are the second largest producer of wheat, and how much? 117.3 million tons. And if we talk about the horticulture sector, India is projected to achieve a record 367.72 million tons, reaffirming its position as a second largest producer globally. So in the horticulture sector, we are the second largest producer. Additionally, India retained the second spot in global fish production. So global fish production also we are in the second position with 18.42 million tons in 2024. So this particular, you can take the screenshot of this slide. This slide is very, very important. Okay, you might have the direct question related to this in your examination, or you can use this data to frame descriptive answer. I think you will have direct data related question from this portion in your examination. Okay, so make this, mark this in your notebook. Another important achievements, let's talk about other things. So these achievements underscore ICR's critical role in enhancing how ICR is helping India's agriculture resilience, productivity, global competitiveness, thereby contributing significantly to global food and nutritional security. Okay. Now let's talk about the flagship initiatives. Okay, so we talk about the different initiatives like the government is taking, like we talk about the Krishi Dhan Dhanya Krishi Yojana. And there are so many initiatives the government is taking in agriculture sector to boost our agriculture productivity, to become self-reliant in agriculture. We are talking about national mission on oil seeds and palm oil, there's so many national missions like National Horticulture Board is there. Okay. So Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi released how many? 109 high-yielding, climate-resilient and bio-fortified varieties of crop on 11th August 2025. Not in 2024, so it is in 2024. He released 109 high-yielding, climate-resilient and bio-fortified varieties. Okay, so basically it was on 15th of August on our Independence Day, but as it is mentioned in your official website, so we are marking it here. Okay, ICR rolled out several flagship initiatives to accelerate agriculture innovations and outreach. Key among them was one scientist, one product, 100 days, 100 varieties, 100 days, 100 technologies, Viksit Krishi Sankalp Abhiyan, which has directly benefited. Okay, how many farmers? It was 1.35 crore farmers. Okay, that's why I like when I was about to mention the data, I said I'm not getting it actually. So it was 1.35 crore farmers. The scientists reached to 1.35 crore farmers across 1.40 lakh villages. Additionally, 100 days social media campaign #OneICAR highlighted ICR's unified efforts in transforming Indian agriculture. Okay, so these were certain flagship initiatives taken recently. And now let's talk about the initiatives related to achievements related to the crop science. Okay, so this is also important. So, in a major stride towards strengthening, so government is doing a lot of efforts, ICR is doing a lot of efforts to strengthen our crop sector. There's a need to strengthen our crop sector because agriculture is the backbone of our country, right? ICR developed and released 679 field crop varieties in the past year, including 27 biofortified varieties aimed at improving. So, what is the main aim of having the biofortified varieties? See, do you know the meaning of biofortification? Basically, adding the nutritional value to a specific commodity or a specific variety. Okay, so what's the main aim of having the biofortified varieties? To improve the nutritional security. Notably, Basmati rice export reached rupees 50,000 crore with 90% contribute attributed to just four ICR developed varieties. So there are four varieties which are developed by ICR and they are contributing nearly 90%, okay, to the total contribution by the basmati rice. Okay, wheat production hit a record 115.3 million tons with 85% of the area under five climate resilient ICAR varieties. There are other varieties also, but we are emphasizing on the varieties released by the ICAR because we're talking about the ICAR Foundation, right? The varietal replacement rate has significantly improved on oilseeds and the pulses. Chickpea 84%, lentils 99%, pea 89%, soybean 56%, mustard 77%, and the ongoing pulse revolution has boosted production from 16.3 million tons in 2015-16 to 24.49 million tons in 2023-24. ICR also introduced the world's second, okay, uh, I think I took a specific session related to it. Now, yeah, the aspirants who are regular in my classes, do you know about this? Recently, India has released first two genome edited rice varieties, and one of these two genome edited rice variety is released by ICAR. Okay, so we had covered this particular thing also. So ICAR is also showing a strong hand there. Okay, and now if we talk about the horticultural science and in the horticulture sector, so ICAR, how many new varieties are developed by ICAR? 83 new varieties. And from these 83 new varieties, 14 are related to fruits, 30 are related to vegetables, 12 are related to flowers, 11 to plantation crop, 11 to spices, medicinal plants 5. And ICAR also collected and evaluated how many new germplasm? 1860 new germplasm and produced over 750 quintals of breeder seed, 2,200 plus tons of breeder seeds of tubers and the root crops, 75 plus tons of mushroom spawn, more than 22 lakh quality plant material was supplied to the farmers. Okay, nearly 15 patents were granted. 9 clean plant centers were established. Okay, so these are all the achievements of ICAR. Okay, so that should be clear in your mind. And similarly, in the fishery sector also, ICAR had done a lot of work and improvements. Okay, and I'm just covering this portion, right? Carbon footprints of India's marine fisheries were assessed and found to be 31% lower than the global average, underscoring sustainability. ICAR successfully hosted 14th Asian Fisheries and Aquaculture Forum in New Delhi and celebrated National Fish Farmers Day at CIFRI Kharagpur. So we discussed about it in our last class, okay? So this is also clear to you. Now moving forward, natural resource management also. So recently, this happened, National Soil Spectral Library. Are you getting this? We took a specific session related to this. So recently it was happened in, I think, Maharashtra. We discussed about it. Okay. First time there was a National Soil Spectral Library where it is like a what we call it, it's like a database where the different soil samples and what are the need of the different soils, how you can like reclaim them, all the specific measures will be stored there as a database. Like we have the botanical gardens, we have the different things. Similarly, we will have a soil spectral library. Okay, so ICAR has made notable progress in natural resource management, including the development of National Soil Spectral Library. And how many soil spectras are there? 40,000. Okay, with NIR range. It formulated 35 good agriculture practices on soil, water, air, crop and farming system management tailored to various states. Okay, so this one was also discussed when we had a specific session related to this. Other than that, ICAR has also worked to support the agroforestry, like 285 nurseries across 7 states were accredited. Odisha's state agroforestry policy was successfully enabled. This is important. Okay, recently, which state agroforestry policy was successfully enabled? So that is of Odisha. Okay, and what we had observed, established 43 climate resilient villages, compiled relevant technologies for 5 states, and invented a new microbial consortium capable of reducing methane emission in rice cultivation by 18%. We know that from the rice cultivation, there is a lot of methane exhibition. So recently we talk about specific technologies or a new microbial. There was a new microorganism which is related with this, that there will be a reduction in the carbon dioxide emission, sorry, methane emission, CH4 emission from our rice crop. Okay, so we have discussed about this one also in our previous current affairs sessions. Okay, so that's why I always say aspirants, you should attend the weekly current affairs session. Okay, you can miss other session, but you should not miss it because you will not be able to cover the next part if you had not completed the last session. Okay, now moving forward, livestock development also. So ICAR has worked a lot with the livestock sector also. There are 10 indigenous animal breeds, registration of 10 indigenous animal breeds, development of 5 vaccines, 7 diagnostic tools. Okay, they will help in strengthening our animal health. And this total of 6.11 lakh cement doses were produced to support breed improvement, with 14.09 lakh poultry germplasms were distributed to the farmers. Okay. Another one, agriculture engineering. So recently we talked about the that planter. Okay. There was a planter we talked about in our last class. Okay, so recently ICAR developed 45 new technologies, machines and instruments along with 8 processes protocols, 3 value-added products aimed at enhancing on-farm efficiency because we are on a submission on farm mechanization. Okay, so here also ICAR contributed a lot. And then agriculture education. ICAR strengthened agriculture education by organizing virtual meetings with 76 agricultural universities, enabling vice chancellors to showcase what's the research going on there, extension and academic initiatives. Okay, and apart from that, it implemented the 6th Dean Committee report, introduced academic guidelines for award of certificate and diploma, rolled out PM One Nation One subscription scheme. Okay, Asian Fellowship Program was launched for MSc students in agriculture and elite science. ICAR supported 50 experimental learning units across 22 universities and conducted 166 training programs. So, you like if you miss this, so there will no issue. Okay, you should know that ICAR is working in this sector also. Okay, and extension also, agriculture extension basically. Here also ICAR has worked a lot. Like now we have developed 299 custom hiring center 82 seed banks of climate resilient varieties, and 34 fodder banks. Right? Now this is involved. What is it? So Nari initiative. So Nari initiative is not related with women empowerment. Nari initiative is not related with women empowerment. Okay, if you have a question, direct question in your exam, Nari initiative is related with what? And you will definitely have option like agriculture development and nutri-sensitive agri-resource innovation, women development. So most of the students will think that Nari is related with women, but it is related with nutri-sensitive agri. So intellectual property rights, IPR, as I told you, during the year 125 patents were granted. Okay, for the different sectors. Okay, so there we talk about the crop related, and now we're talking about the overall. Okay, total 125 patents were granted, 307 copyright were registered, 120 design and 111 trademark applications were filed. Okay, so ICAR signed 1012 technologies licensing agreement or 72 consultancy or contract research agreements. Okay, so and ICAR is a partner with these international forums. Okay, so ICAR, we know about ICAR a lot, and these are the all developments and the achievements that ICAR did in the last year, 2024 to 25. Okay, so that's all about the ICAR. Okay, and these are some other programs also, like we have the mission on edible oil, mission on high yielding seeds, mission on cotton productivity, and apart from that, second national gene bank. Now we talk about it in our union budget 2025-26. Maharishi, with his millets and other ancient grains, International Research Institute, All India National Project on Biotech Crops and Emerging Pests. So all these are related with the ICAR achievements. Okay. Now, so it is not just a celebration of the foundation, it's a celebrations of the achievement, like how much ICAR has achieved and how we are doing a lot of efforts to make our country like developed in agriculture sector. Okay. Now moving forward, so in our union budget 2025-26, we talk about Pradhan Mantri Dhan Dhanya Krishi Yojana. Okay, so I took a specific session related to Dhan Dhanya Krishi Yojana also, where we discussed about that the 100 districts will be selected, okay, and specific measures will be taken there, okay, to improve their agriculture practices, right? So now the approval, this project has like received the approval from the Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs. Okay, so Cabinet approves the Prime Minister Dhan Dhanya Krishi Yojana. Okay, so this Cabinet Committee or the Union Cabinet was chaired by Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji, and that was taken on 16th of July 2025, and he approved that for a period of, so in the next 6 years, these districts will be like developed in agriculture sector, beginning with 2025-26 to cover the 100 districts. Okay, PM Dhan Dhanya Krishi Yojana draws inspiration from Niti Aayog's aspirational. We know you might have heard about this aspirational district program of Niti Aayog. Okay, and first of its kind, focusing exclusively on agriculture and agriculture. So this is the first time that we are having a certain project, have a specific project which is related with agriculture and any sector. Like we are developing 100 districts in agriculture and any sector, like which districts are not having the good facilities related to agriculture, the agriculture productivity is quite low. So to develop these 100 districts, okay, and to enhance their agriculture productivity, increase their adoption of crop diversification and sustainable agriculture practices, augment post-harvest storage at the panchayat and the block level, improve irrigation facilities and facilitate availability of long-term and the short-term credits, right? And this scheme will be implemented through convergence of 36 existing schemes across 11 departments, other state schemes, and local partnership with the private sector. So this is all about it now. Minimum of one, select from all the like from each district, minimum one, from each state, minimum one district will be selected. Okay, like there will be no limit on the maximum number of districts, but one district should be there from each state. Okay, and then specific measures will be taken there to improve the agriculture practices there, right? So this is all about it. I think this is clear to you. Target of improvement. Firstly, we'll do the improvement in the 100 districts as there are nearly 750 districts. So firstly, we'll work upon improvement in 100 districts and then we'll work upon improvement in another districts. Okay, so that's how we'll talk about the different targets. We'll set the different targets and we will work upon the different targets. Okay, so as the indicators of these 100 districts improve, the national indicators will automatically show an upward trajectory now. See, one step forward will only help you to reach the target. So that's why I always say take a step ahead, do your preparations with the right study material and at the right time. Take the regular classes. Like on every Friday, I'm taking your current affairs session. Make sure that you guys are attending this current affairs session on time. And one important thing, aspirants, this is a batch which is available for you on the application of Oliveboard. If you are not the part of this batch till now, make sure that you guys will become the part of this batch because your static portion is equally important. Okay, you as we had covered the previous year questions from the last 4 years. Okay, and you saw the questions from the static portion also there. So there's a need to be the part of this batch if you want to crack this exam this year. And you are getting a 60% discount on all the subscription by using the code BDAY. Okay, and you can install the application of Oliveboard, register yourself there, and that's how you can download the PDF of future classes from there, and you can connect with me on my Telegram. And there are certain other things that we are about to discuss, but there's a time that we need to end the class. So I'll provide you the PDF of the complete views. Okay, don't worry. So here I'm ending a session for now. We'll meet in the next class. Bye bye and take care.